what's going on with the invasion of the Ukraine. In line with our area of the world, we're going to talk about healthcare and healthcare IT. There was a recent article in the New York Times, and it's a really good article, and I highly recommend it to people if they get the opportunity. And the title of it is As Tanks Rolled into the Ukraine, So Did Malware. Then Microsoft Entered the War. And it makes the analogy of Microsoft being the Ford Motor Company. Tom Burt, the senior Microsoft executive who oversees the company's efforts to counter major cyber attacks, contacted Ann Neuberger, the White House Deputy National Security Advisor for Cyber and Emerging Technologies. Ms. Neuberger asked if Microsoft would consider sharing details of the code with the Baltics, Poland, and European nations out of fear that the malware would spread beyond Ukraine's borders, crippling the military alliance or hitting West European banks. Before midnight in Washington, Ms. Neuberger had made introductions, and Microsoft had begun playing a role as that of Ford Motor Company did in World War II when the company converted automobile production lines to make Sherman tanks. And they talk about the fact that after years of discussions in Washington in the tech circles about the need for a public-private partnership, I'm calling it a war. It's not technically, it's escalating to a war in the Ukraine is stress testing the system of this public-private partnership. I read that and I'm encouraged that they identified the code, that they're blocking it in other systems. But I'm also encouraged that they are stepping in. And I think the thing that this really drives home for me is that these companies that are in the cloud, that operate in the cloud, really do take cybersecurity seriously. And it used to be that we were shying away from the cloud because of the security concerns. And it seems to me now that these companies in the cloud actually have better cybersecurity capabilities than we have on site. And a lot of people are looking at the cloud now. What I'm hearing is we're moving to the cloud because it's more secure than what we used to have. Patty, I threw an awful lot at you there.
Yeah, you did. It's amazing though, right? I mean, when you have times of stress, the adoption pieces kind of accelerate. We saw a lot of things like that during the pandemic, but thinking about just the resources that these organizations who are really dealing with the cloud have, it's that centralization and being able to take a laser focus on security and really hype it up to a level that you couldn't possibly manufacture and duplicate at each individual site. And they do take it incredibly seriously, as you saw from Microsoft. And I love the fact that they jumped right in order to deal with that. It's amazing to see some great partnerships coming out of very stressful times.
I mean, I'd be incredibly encouraged if I was on Office 365 and my health system was utilizing Azure and whatnot. I'd be incredibly encouraged that this team, that can identify these things this quickly and update the software this quickly is protecting some of my assets. It would really encourage me.
Absolutely. Definitely. 100%. I think that the cloud has really proven itself over the last few years to be really a great place to house your assets and ensure that they are highly secured, versus I think when it first started, there was a lot of skepticism based on the exact opposite. How secure is it? How easy is it to hack? But I think we're finding that it's a lot more secure than what we're seeing on the ground and being housed in-house.